Hey everybody, for this one we are at the Lodge Card Club down in San Antonio, Texas. We're down here for a graduation. My cousin's kid is graduating Air Force boot camp and wanting to see him turn into a real man. so let's get some cards. We're watching a 4K guarantee tournament. See if we can't spin up a stack. So thanks for coming. Okay, first hand of the night, and we are dealt 6-8 offsuit in the hijack at the 200-300 blind level. Early on in these tournaments, I'm a huge fan of playing these types of hands, suited connectors, suited gappers. You can get in there cheap. You can bully the pot to win often. Sometimes really connect and win big pots. Also, they're really fun to play early on. So I go ahead and raise up to 1,500, fairly big raise, but down here in Texas, if you're not going to make it big, you are going to see it 7 ways plus. So got to go kind of large on the betting. So small blind's going to make the call. Early position limber makes the call as well. We're going to go off to a flop 3 ways with about 4,800 in the middle already. So flop comes out 8, 4, 7, 2 clubs. Hits me fairly hard, honestly. We have top pair here, gut shot, straight draw. We are right where we want to be on this type of hand. So put in a pretty standard continuation here of 2K. Small blind is going to fold fairly quickly. Original limper comes along for a call, and we are going to have a 6,800 chip pot. So turn is a 3 of spades. Doesn't change the board a whole lot. If we were behind before, still are. If we're ahead, I think we're still ahead. Also, I don't see a pocket 3 sticking around, but you never know. That could have hit. I size up a little bit now. We're gonna go to 3,500. Try to get some money in the middle. Villain doesn't take too long before making the call. So pot has ballooned up a little bit. It's up to 13,800 now. We're off to a river that is a bank of 5 of spades. Straight comes in, and we're gonna decide to go for some thick value here. We don't want to go small and get an easy call. Let's try to get the max value. So we drop in 3 oranges for a 15,000 pot size bet, and he thinks for a little bit. He even says, not scared of that 6 coming in, huh? But ultimately he decides on a fold and just gets out of there. So must not have had a very strong hand, but nice drag, a nice pot, 14,000 chips coming our way, and off to the next. Okay, not too much later, we look down at red queens. Very pretty. Middle position here, and we're gonna raise it up to 1,200. Fairly standard. So get both the small blind and big blind to call, and we have a pot of about 3,600 in the middle now. Flop comes out 7, 6, 10, 2 hearts. Well, we like not having overs. That's great. It's also pretty wet though. Straighty, flushy, a lot going on here. So we don't want to see any overs hit the board. We don't want to see any hearts hit the board. A 9 and 8. All these are going to be terrible for us. So let's go kind of big. If they want to see another one, it ain't gonna be cheap. Let's throw in a 3,500 chip continuation bet, and we get a snap fold. Easy day. Let's drag it in and go on to the next. Okay, so just a little while later, we're at the 200, 400 blind level now, and there's been a raise to 1,200 ahead of us. We're gonna look down at a beautiful king in middle position. Let's put in a meaty 3 bet to 3,200. See who's interested. Surprisingly, Cutoff is going to go ahead and flick in a cold call here, so that's interesting. Folds around 1 by 1 to the original raiser. He's going to think about it for just a little bit, and then flicking a call as well. So we're going to go off to a flop 3 ways, folks. So think really hard about what the worst possible scenario of a flop would be. Maybe monotone boards, maybe ace high. What do you guys think? 7, 8, 9? Well, I think there's a lot of options for terrible cards to come out. But let's see a flop, shall we? So it's gonna come out a ace, 9, 6, all spades. Fantastic. Luckily for us, we do not have the king of spades here. We got the king of clubs. Had to do a quick check. Original razor checks. I check as well. Cold collar is going to make it 5,000 here. Folds to me, and I'm going to quick fold. Quick snap. Not fold. On to the next. We're not going to do 2 more streets of calling here. So, what do you do? Okay, a while later, we're going to look down at beautiful 10-10 black tens at the 500, 1,000 blind level. We're going to pump it up to 7,000 here. We had a under the gun raise to 2,500. So we don't really want to see this 6-way still flop. We are going to get a fold and a fold and a fold all the way around to the original raiser, who seems very eager to get his money in there, honestly. So he's going to make the call, and let's go heads up to a flop. Flop comes out queen, jack, deuce, 2 spades, 2 overs, not excellent. Quick check. Turn comes out an 8 of spades. We now have a backdoor flush draw. Let's go ahead and check again. River comes out a big king of spades. That's pretty nice. We're not going to get any money out of this one, so we go check. I mean, if he had the ace of spades, we are in trouble. If he has anything lower, he's probably not going to call us anyway. So I think just low variance. Let's get a $10,000 pot real quick and pull it in. Okay, so we look down at Jack 7 suited here. Not a great hand, but it's folded to us in the middle position. Nobody looks super locked into their hand cards. Everyone's kind of just coping and joking. Let's buy some blinds here. So make a pretty standard raise to 2,200 at the 500, 1,000 blind level. And we get a cold call from the cutoff, but everyone else folds. So pot's 6,700 now, and let's see a flop. Flop comes out ace, 10, 10. Hits our range pretty good, you know? We have a lot of aces here. We have 10s here sometimes. I think it's pretty standard to get a continuation bet here, and let's see if we can get it through. So I don't think you need a large continuation bet, though. Just size down and then see what happens, right? So I go out for 3,000, about half pot, and we get a snap fold. So it's little hands like this that help build your stacks in tournaments. They seem arbitrary, but doing this type of action about once a revolution, maybe once every 2 revolutions or so is pretty necessary if you're going to build a stack at a faster rate than the other people around you. So just take that into account here, and on to the next. Okay, so here's a clinic in bad decisions. Middle position raises this one up to 4,000, folding over to me in the big blind. We are still at the 500, 1,000 blind level, by the way, so it's a kind of a meaty raise. But I'm closing action. Let's see what we got. King 8 of clubs. I think that's a reasonable just to see a flop with and decide where to go from there. So flop is pretty dangerous. Comes out king 10 7 rainbow 1 club. So top pair, weak kicker with backdoor clubs as well. We like it. It's okay. Not excellent. Let's see what we're doing here. But middle position is going to bet out for 10,000. I don't think we can fold here yet. Let's go ahead and see a turn. Turn comes out a inconsequential 6 of diamonds. Goes check fairly quickly on this one. Could be pot control. Could be a lower hand like queens, jacks, ace queen, ace jack, things like that gave up. So we'll see. River is a 6. I think when he checks here, I have to go for value. I decide to go kind of meaty 2/3 of the pot, 20K, and get the bad news when he fairly quickly snaps me off with, you guessed it, folks, ace king. And wrecks my world, takes me to Value Town. Just sitting over here putting on a clinic for you guys on how to get value owned. These hands with weak kickers, king 8, king 7s, king 6s, they're good to fold pre-flop, honestly. The suited got me in trouble, but here we are. On to the next. Nice hand. Well played. Okay, here in the middle position with 10 jack offsuit. One of the best hands in poker, am I right, guys? I decided to raise it up to 3,500. Kind of a small raise. We're at 1K, 1,500 blind levels right now. But we're going to get 2 callers and go 3 ways to the flop. Okay, flop comes out and it waxes like a truck. 10, jack, deuce, rainbow, bang. Man, we hit this so hard. I don't know how anybody else could have much of it. So I'm going to start off with a check here. We're out of position. We're going to check most of our hands out of position anyways. Big blind leads out for 2,000 this, and I think it's too soon to check raise here. So we're just going to flat call. And hopefully let the small blind in here too, get a little more money in the pot. He folds pretty quickly, unfortunately, so we're going to go off to a turn. Turn comes out a 6 of hearts. I check again. We got the intentions of checking raising here, so hopefully we get a check, we get a raise for us, and he does not. Check. River comes out a 3 of diamonds. Blank of all blanks. It's time to start betting here, folks. Let's go meaty. We're gonna go 16,000. We can get calls here from a jack most of the time, but unfortunately he mucks pretty fast. If you really look there, you can see his bottom card, and it was a jack. It's obvious I went a little too large on this one. I should have sized it like 6,000 or 7,000, but oh well. Still scooping a pot. Build the stack back up. Thanks, Dan. Okay, just like earlier, we decided nobody's very interested in this pot, so let's steal some blinds, folks. We got 8-9 offsuit. Not a bad hand. It's very playable post flop, if called. But let's try to put in a bet that doesn't get called, right? So we go 4,800. Very meaty. It can really only get called by premiums, you know. So let's see a snap, fold by everyone around the table. It's really nice to get these through, and you kind of have to. You just gotta pull in pots on a regular basis, and stealing blinds is very important in tournaments. So on the next. Okay, a few hands later, just before the end of reg, we look down at a very pretty ace-9 of hearts in the small blind. So one limper ahead of us. Let's bump it up to 4,500 and see who's willing to come along, right? Big blind fairly quickly says, yep, let's do it. So he calls. Original limper also joins us, so we're gonna go 3 ways to a flop here. Flop hits us pretty hard, actually. 10-10 king, 1 heart. When I say it hits us pretty hard, it hits our range pretty hard, right? We have ace king here a lot. We have 10s here often. We have broadways that connect here very often, so I think making a good meaty bet here, we're going to find out where everybody else is really fast. We have 15K in the middle already. Let's start off with a pretty substantial C bet of 6,500, and we get a fairly quick fold, so that's awesome. It's what we like to see. I love to take these little pots down, especially right before we're into reg. Build your stack up just a little bit. So scooping this 15K pot in, and we're gonna go ahead and race off black chips now, and so that's nice. Hopefully we'll win a couple extra, and we're also doing a add-on. They do a pretty substantial meaty add-on at the end of reg. We do $60 for 40,000 extra chips, so that'll really help us build that stack up and hopefully do some more damage to people after break. Okay, back from break now. You can see our stack's a little larger now from the add-on. That blue chip at the top of the oranges is a 25K. So let's hopefully be able to leverage that. And immediately we screwed up. So gotta show the good with the bad, right? I'm just gonna let this hand original audio play out. Judge me, please judge me.
You raise 10,000. Heads up. And then we just have to put out the last for the time we just did.
Tournament players, your prize pool has been posted. We did have a little bit of an overlay, as always here from our San Antonio. We honor our
I'm an idiot. I thought I had king queen under there. I'm such an idiot. I was like, oh, I got king queen. That's perfect. I'm a fucking idiot.
I had a very intense brain fart at the end of that hand. I knew I had a king of hearts. I was hoping for a king of hearts on the river. It was a good check on the turn. And then the river came, she bet, and I, for some reason, farted and thought, oh yeah, I've got king queen here. I just didn't, I snapped. And man, we all make errors, and that was a big one. Ugh. Okay, rebuilding. Okay, just a few hands later, we look down at a beautiful ace-7 of clubs. Pump to 4K, 1K 1500 blind level. Beautiful little hand. We're under the gun. We don't want to go too big and get pushed off by someone, so we just go 4K and get a single caller from an old man coffee type player. He's been playing fairly tight, so we can capitalize on it if we have to. Flop comes out 3-4-6 rainbow. Really nice for our actual cards. Hit a gut shot and still got clean overs. No reason to think villain hit here. Let's throw out a 5K C bet and see what happens and get a fairly quick call. So he doesn't look super interested, super happy, but he makes the call. So off to a turn of a king of diamonds. That's beautiful for my range. Let's go 10K, size it up just a little bit, see how he reacts to that, and get a fairly quick fold. He's obviously gives me some credit for having a king here often, and take down this pot with hardly any pushback. Okay, on this next one, look down to 8-9 offsuit on the big blind, closing action. There's a 5K raise before us and a single caller. We're gonna go ahead and continue here since we're closing action. So let's go off to a flop. Flop comes out 5-7 queen 2 diamonds. Pop a gutter here, so that's nice. Original raiser is gonna put in a standard 5K continuation. Second caller gets out of the way. We're gonna call, see a turn, see if we can't bink a 6. Turn comes out a bink 6. Hell yeah. I don't think we're gonna raise yet. I think we just gotta check, make it look like we have a flush draw. Hope the flush doesn't come in. And he shouldn't have a flush draw. He shouldn't have a flush. I just don't want to kill our action, right? So villain pretty quickly checks back on this one. Let's go off to a river, which is ace of hearts. Flush misses, awesome. Should make my oncoming bet look a lot like a bluff. Ace hits his range a lot, so I'm really hoping he hits something like ace king here. We're gonna size up substantially, go to 25K, just under pot size bet. Unfortunately, he fairly quickly folds. Likely just had a pocket pair that gave up on the flop. We weren't gonna get much money anyways. Oh well, nice pot anyways. Dragging in a nice one and on to the next. Okay, not too long later, get a nice little ace-4 diamonds in late position. It's been folded around us, and we are going to try to buy one. So, popping it up to 7,000 in the 1K, 2K blind level. We're going to get 2 callers. Button and the big blind come in with us. So, 23,000 chips in the pot, pre-flop. It's getting a little spicy already, isn't it? So, let's see a flop. Flop comes out, Jack, 4, deuce, rainbow. Big blind's gonna check it over to me, as he will with pretty much anything usually. So I start off with a check. I don't think there's much merit in a C bet yet. I want to find out what happens on the turn. So button check behind as well. I also just extra information here. I would expect the big blind to check a jack every time because I'm the original raiser. I don't think the button would check a jack though. After I check, it's obvious I missed, or trapping, most likely missed, and he's not going to want overcards to hit on the turn, so I don't think the button has a jack. Moving on, and see what a turn will bring us. So turn comes out 3 hearts. Big blind checks again. I likely have the best hand here, and I think it's time to start extracting some value. We don't have to go too big here, but I put out a delayed C bet of 5,000, and we're gonna get 2 callers. 38,000 in the pot now. River comes a 6, putting a 1-liner to the straight. No more betting here. Goal is getting a showdown cheaply, and see if we can't eke out a win here somehow. Luckily it checks around, Button proudly declares king high. No good, sir. Button mucks when he sees my monster hand turn over, and we get the max value, I think, and turned out excellent, so building a stack. Okay, a little while later, look down at 6-8 suited on the big blind. So, had 2 limpers before us. I think let's just see a cheap flop. Let's just see what happens, and maybe we'll bink one. So comes out 6, 8, 9, 2 hearts. That's a massive flop. There's a bet before us at 3,500. Second guy calls as well. I don't think we can do this. I think we got to bump it up. We really don't want to see all 3 of us go to a turn with this wet of a board. So yeah. What do we size to? What would you guys size to? Put it in the comments below. We're gonna make it 15k to go. The original better decides better and gets out of there, folds, and the second caller decides to, after a little while thinking, yeah, we can do 15k. So he calls, and he's likely on a flush draw, maybe on a hand like ace 9, ace 8, something like that. So either way, we've got a big pot brewing, kids. Okay, off to a turn. Think about the best card that might come for us. What would it be? Well, how about a 6? That'd be pretty damn nice. Magical 6 of clubs. Binks off on the turn, so now we boat it up. We really have nothing to worry about, and besides a 9 on the river. That would be disgusting. Don't have a lot to worry about here. We really hope that the guy's either on a flush draw and hits the river, or he's got something like ace 9, ace 8, and we don't want it to look like we're super strong here. So we go ahead and check the turn and go to a river. River comes out a pretty innocuous jack. Doesn't change the board. It's not gonna scare him. It won't change anything. If he thinks he was ahead, he's still ahead. So now what do? What sizing are we going to? I think that any flush draws folding, it doesn't matter what sizing, so who cares? We're not going to go after them. We're going to size this like we're going after an ace 9 or an ace 8 or even sometimes a 6. Although we're blocking that pretty hard. So we're going to size this way up and go to 45k, full pot size bet. It's going to look really bluffy, because if he doesn't have a flush draw, we likely had a flush draw. And so it'll make him more curious to call with a big bet. He stews on it for a while, thinks it over, and mulls it back and forth. You could tell he's really struggling with what he should do. And after a while of thinking of it, his curiosity gets the better of him, flicks in a call, turns over his ace 9 offsuit. No good, sir. Chipping up huge now. We turn in a small limp pot into a nearly double up here. So these are those hands that you gotta get max value out of, and this is it. So chip it up. Okay, a little while later now, we're on the big blind. Have a few limpers ahead of us, and we look down at a premium ace 10 of hearts. Well, if you know, you know. It's a fun little hand, one of my favorites. Let's play a flop. Cheaply though, so gonna just continue with a check and set off with a $12,000 chip pot. Flop comes out a banger, 2, 3, 4, all hearts. Just drill a 10-eye flush. So I don't have to wait around and check this down. I don't want to see a heart come out. I don't want to see any scare cards come out. Let's just bet now, and let's make it chunky. So we're going to lead out for 10,000 into the 12,000 chip pot. Pretty big bet, and should only get folks with a heart and maybe some sets to call. Somehow we get 2 callers here though. 42,000 in the middle already. Off to a highly significant turn on a board pairing 3 of spades. Fantastic, that's what we wanted to see. Well, not excellent. Sets just boated up. Yikes. Well, what do we do? So we could shut down. We could just check. I think though we need to maintain control, see how people react. Let's go ahead and continue on and just not go massive, right? So we decide to go 20,000, which sounds big, but it's only about a half pot size bet. So it's, relatively, right? Villain number 1 thinks for quite a while, takes his action slow, thinks about what to do, and then decides to go with the nuclear option and rips it. He's all in. Villain number 2 snap folds, and the action is back on us. Throw open your mouth a little bit, right? Huge decision here. Ask for a count. He does not have us covered. But if we call and we're wrong, or if he has a big heart and it actually hits on the river, we're down to 35K, and that's gross. I think through what hands he's going to do this with. A full house? Why? Like, why do this in position if he's got a boat here? If he thinks I have a flush or a flush draw, why try to fold me out? Why not wait to the river to go big? So that doesn't make any sense. So something like a ace or a king high flush draw, yeah, I can see that. Maybe a flop flush, middle type of flush. But I don't see that with a monster flush. Like, why risk folding me out? Why go giant against possibly a full house even? Like, that would be a huge scary move. Like, it just doesn't. None of this is checking out to me. I just think I have too strong of a hand to fold. I think that against this player specifically, also, he's definitely a younger, aggressive player that takes hard spots and high pressure positions. So I just think we're too strong here, and I can't find the fold button. We're gonna click in a crying call, a really, really crying call, and he confidently says flush. Turns over his 7-9 of hearts and is crushed when he sees my 10 high roll over. Terrible spot. I can fold here sometimes to the right person, just not to this player. He definitely put the max pressure on me, and I'm very happy that I found the call button, because we have gobs now and are moving on in a beautiful spot. All right, we're at the 2K, 4K level now, and we look down at the weapons. Mass destruction. Gonna fold around to us in the middle position, and we are going to raise to, let's make it meaty, right? Let's go to 14K. We don't want 7-8 suited to get in there. If you're gonna come in and play with us, let's have a real hand, right? Like I said, in Texas, you're gonna get calls if you make it reasonable, and you're gonna get a lot of them. So raise up kind of meaty, folds around fairly quick, goes around the table. We're not going to see any colors this time. It's going to fold, and honestly, that's okay. On to the next. I'm okay with that. We didn't lose. We won with aces. You don't always win with aces. On to the next. All right, so here is a fun one. Looking down at Queen Deuce, you might say auto muck, right? Well, there's 4 limpers ahead of us on a 3K, 6K blind level. No one seems to be super interested. Let's clear out some dead money, folks. Why not? It's a great squeeze spot. Terrible hand, but they don't know that, right? So we're gonna pump this bad boy up to 35K, make it a really meaty raise, and hopefully get folds around. Not what happens. Big blind is gonna cold call, older, tighter player. So that's scary. Folds around to the hijack, who calls fairly quickly, and our cutoff is going to call reluctantly as well. Priced in, where's he going? So that did not work. That is not how a squeeze play is supposed to work. 158,000 in the pot already, and that's a yikes moment. We are off to a flop that comes out. Queen 10-7 rainbow. Well, bang top pair, terrible kicker. Let's see this through, right? We have a C-bet here, I think. I'm going to pretend like I have a monster. I think if I do, I don't have to go huge. We're going to down bet substantially to pot size. We're going to go 25,000. A big blind's going to call. Hijack is going to get out of there pretty quickly, and the cutoff is going to reluctantly call again. So we are 3 ways still off to a turn. Turn comes out of king. That's the worst card I could see, even though it hits our range pretty good. It hits the cold callers, the cold big blind callers range really well too. He's a tight player. He does not do trash. I'm shutting this down. I'm not going any further on any more betting. I'm going to get the river cheaply, or I might just fold if anybody else bets. Luckily, it checks through, so no betting goes down on the turn. Awesome. Let's see a river card, and it will come out a 8. I don't think there's anything to do here. Let's just take our tiny showdown value to the river. We didn't win this. Let's be honest. We know we didn't win this, but we're not going to get. We're going to lose more if we bet more. Checks through again. Big blind turns over. Ace king for the winner. Ugh. Of course he does. Cutoff turns over as queen jack. He has also, as we knew. We show everybody our crappy hand that we try to do the squeeze play with. It's good to do this sometimes, just to show people you're capable of things like this. It'll help you with getting calls down the road. People will start thinking, "Oh, this guy's doing anything," and you can get some calls pretty late sometimes. So, 50,000 chip torch. Yikes. At least we didn't keep barreling though, right? So on to the next. Okay, a little while later, we are finally at final table, kids. Hell yeah. Haven't chipped up a ton, but went down a little bit with a few bluffs, and then we're back up and holding on, right? We are basically in all in or fold territory. And we're all in. Pocket sevens, that's a clear jam spot. Let's see if we can't either double up or pull in some nice blinds anyways. And everyone folds around, we're gonna pull in some blinds, and you gotta win these little chip ups to keep being relevant. So on to the next, and here we go. Okay, get ready to get in some trouble, guys. I have my favorite hand in poker. You haven't seen it yet because I suck at recording, but yeah, raised to 45k. I'm on the big blind for 10k. I've got 10 jack of hearts. It suckers me in every time. I love this hand. So we're gonna see a flop. And it's a lot of big blinds further than I have left. I probably should have just folded it, but I get suckered in with 10 jack. It's what I do. It's what I do best. Okay, so we are off to a flop of jack 6-3 rainbow, and I am going to completely screw up the recording, and it turns off. Yeah, so jack 6-3, top pair, middle kicker. He leads out for 20k. I can't fold when I hit top pair, so let's just make a call. We screwed up the recording, so recording turns off from here on out. Sorry. Turn goes check, check. It's a low card. It's a 5. We're still in rainbow territory. Luckily it checks through. We get to a river for a reasonable price. River's gonna come out at 8. Inconsequential, doesn't change anything. After he checks on the turn, I think he's got ace high. I mean, that's how I feel in my heart. And he comes out banging. Puts a bet that it's like 80,000. So I'm gonna have 77k left if I call and I'm wrong, but my gut's telling me go for it. So I call, and he has pocket queens. Value town. We're in trouble now, kids. Okay, not too much longer. We are on the button. There are 2 limpers at the 10k, 20k blind level. That's a ton of money just sitting there. Let's go for it. 77k, 9-10 suited. It's a great hand. Let's hope for folds. But honestly, I mean, if we have to hit, let's try to hit, right? We can't let that blind button get around and have to get chipped down anymore. So here's just some run good.
Oh wow, that was one wild protection. 9-10, 9. Fuck me. I lost a 6 jack. How does that happen? How does he Jam with it. Brother.
Somehow this guy with 2 guys to act behind him re-jams for like 176,000 with Jack 6 offsuit and holds. So GG's, that'll be our tournament. It was a good run. We had a blast. Great to turn out better, but hey, on to the next.